And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm super excited to be talking to you today about the newest expansion for Smashup, the Pretty Smashup expansion. I've been waiting for this for a long time because I think it's hilarious that you can mix now princesses, pretty horses, fairies, and cats, kittens, whatever the faction might be. I guess they're called kitty cats. You can mix them with things like zombies. So you can have zombie princesses, and you can have robot cats, and you can have ghost horses, and you can have dinosaur fairies. So some great combinations, and at the same time, I like how these are very useful factions, and players can be forced to put them in their deck if they're playing like a tournament. Like, I'm here to play with my dinosaur princesses. And at the same time, my girls were pleased to see these factions. But are these factions any good, or are they joke factions? Let's see. First, we'll take a look at the fairies. The fairies here have a lot of actions. The fairies are all about messing with other players. They're an annoyance, to be said here. Here you can play in a base and no one else can play actions on this base or minions there. That's actually a pretty powerful thing. It lets you stop other people from going to a base. You can take that base yourself, although if someone has something that cancels this action, they can get rid of that. Here, this is a magic ward. Here's magic acorns. Each other player discards a card at random, or you draw a card and play an extra action. Now, it's usually I take the second one, although the first one can be annoying to everybody else, but getting the extra action can be a big deal. Here you can play on a base, and all minions here have +1 power, all minions here have -1 power. So you got to try to figure out if that's going to be, it could be helpful to you, or it could be annoying to everyone else. Playing a minion, this minion cannot be destroyed. And you can transfer this action to another minion, so you can pass the ladybug around. I don't know why ladybug keeps you from being destroyed. Draw 2 cards, or draw a card and play an extra action. You'll notice that this is one of several abilities that they've had where they have like an or thing that they can do, which is something I like, with the Fairy Ballet. Destroy up to 2 actions, place on minions and or bases. Playing a minion, they're +1 power, and you can pass this one around to another minion. So you have that. That's another one that can be passed around, the leaf armor. The daisy chain, you put on a minion, if it's yours, it's +2. If it's on someone else's, it's -2. I'm not sure why a daisy chain is -2. Then we get to the different people. Tinks, which is Tinkerbell apparently. You can transfer an action played on another minion to this one, so you can steal something from somebody else, which is great in this game. Someone else plays a cool action on someone else, Tinks will steal it. Puck, you can play an extra action or draw a card. Well, that's useful. Glimmer, until the start of your next turn, you can pick another minion to have -4 power. That's extremely powerful. Or you can give him +1 power. Either way, this is a very useful, probably the best fairy that the fairies have, the best minion they have. And then Titania, you can return an opponent's minion to its owner's hand or play an extra minion. Again, here's another one of the ors, but in this case, I almost always see the people using the secondary ability to play the extra minion. All right, now let's look at the ponies. The creepy ponies. Pinkle here. While another one of your minions here, they're +1 power. And this shows the trend of the ponies. Friendship is magic is the motto of My Little Ponies, and that's the way it is here. The whole focus of this one is having minions together. We go together like Pinky and Sea Star. If you play a minion where you have another minion, you can play an extra minion this turn. Okay, that's great. Here, if you play another minion here, draw a card. This minion has +1 power for each of your other minions here. So the ponies are great to play in conjunction with another group that has a lot of minions. Pony robots, for example, is a great combo. They also have choose a base, move any number of your minions to it. I love this super feature space. Armor power! Each of your minions that's on the base with another minion gets +2 power until the end of the turn. That could be really powerful. Again, I love pairing these guys up with the robot. I also like how this is adventure power. This is super feature space armor power. This is friendship power. Here we have sharing power. If you have 2 or more minions on a base, you draw a card every turn. Destroy an action, place a minion base. This is freedom power. Togetherness power, which is kind of gross here as they're beating up on a skeleton. But you can place an extra minion at a base where you have a minion. or play on one of your minions. This minion is +1 power for each of your other minions here. Or the teaching power. So again, the horses or the ponies or whatever you want to call them are all about working together. Then we have the cats who are all about grumpiness or control. So you can pick another minion, says Mr. Grumpers, and that minion is -2 power. So he's kind of weak himself with only being a 2, but still. The Muffin here, take control of a minion that's power 3 or less until the end of the turn. That can be the swing point, so you can have a 3 and you're stealing someone else's 3 or less. Here Whiskers can play an extra action, but you have to destroy one of your own minions to do that. You better have... I like using cat zombies for this purpose. Get rid of those zombies that are easy to get to use to play an extra action. And then Queen Fluffy is also able to take control of a minion that's power of 3 or less. The Hang In There, which is based on the famous poster here, if your minion would be destroyed, move it to another base and destroy the action instead. So this is great for Queen Fluffy or some other powerful minion you have. I like mixing the kittens with the dinosaurs for this purpose. You get out your powerful dinosaur and you put the Hang In There. It keeps your dinosaur from being destroyed. Or here you can take control of a minion of power 5 or less until the end of the turn. The Cat's Paw. Ken Has Cheeseburger. Oh, I hate the name of this. But again, you can take control of a minion there of power 3 or less. This is on a base, so you can. This is kind of an active thing there. People know that. Here you have 9 lives. Kill a minion to play an extra minion. It's an evil, wicked card. But so are cats. Playing a base. All other minions there are -1 power. Playing a minion. This minion is -2 power. Choose a base. Move minions power 2 or less from there to another base. Choose a minion. Draw cards equal to that minion's power, then destroy that minion. So that's very interesting if you're running out of cards. Sometimes I'll play like a 3 or 4 minion and then destroy it to get me some more cards. You wouldn't probably want to mix cats with ghosts for this purpose, but the cats are not a nice faction. They're all about being mean to the others. Then we have the princesses. The princesses have just all special abilities. Draw a card. They're all like nice things here. Happily ever after. They're like the opposite of the cats. Play on a base. If you're the winner here, you get a victory point. Play on it before base scores. Move a minion from there to another base. Move a minion to another base. Now these can be nasty and mean. Don't get me wrong. But they have the idea that they're nice. Choose a base. Move all your minions to it. Shuffle minion from your discard pile into your deck and draw a card. Destroy a minion of power 2 or less and draw a card. A skillet. Knock out those little weak people. Woodland Helpers. And the heirloom. There's 3 heirlooms in the deck. And each one gives you +1 power for each heirloom on it. Which means if all 3 heirlooms are on the same minion, that's then +9 power. I haven't seen that happen yet, but it still is pretty cool. It's very possible to get 2 on the same person, which would be a +4 power. One of the unique things about the princesses is every single princess, and there's 6 of them here in the deck, is a 5. Now the disadvantage of this is these are all the minions in this deck. So the princesses, I believe, have the least minions of any people. It's all based on these princesses. So if you're going to smash them up with another deck, you're going to want to use probably princesses probably another grouping that has a lot of minions. And they're basically based on famous princesses. Here we have Sleeping Beauty. And here we have Mario de Grau. I don't even know how to pronounce her name there. Reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a minion, draw it. Otherwise, place it in the bottom of your deck. Here we have Apricot with the little Koopa Troopa in the background. Here's Snow White. Here's Griselda. Place an heirloom card from your discard pile in your hand. So she has a way to get those heirloom cards in the hand. And this woman just needs to let it go. Other players cannot play more than 1 extra card per turn. This will stop those people who are playing extra minions and extra actions. These aren't the only things that are included in this set. We have all the different tokens here, which are very pink and purplish and pretty and princessy. And there's different locations like the beautiful castle, Cool Cat's Alley, Aquaria, the Fairy Circle, Enchanted Glen, Ponyland, Ice Castle, and the House of 9 Lives. So there's lots of different things. And I'm very happy to say that this game comes with dividers for each of them. So if you are using the big geeky box, they will fit very easily into it. Let's take a look at that real quickly. Here is the big geeky box, and you can see there's plenty of space here to fit this new expansion in and probably 10 more expansions. So this is a solid expansion. I don't know if it's my favorite expansion in terms of gameplay. I think the theme is hilarious. When it comes to playing with the different factions, I would say probably that my favorite faction to play with is probably the ponies. The princesses are interesting, but you gotta be careful because there are times when I played them and I just run out of minions in my hand. So you have to be careful about that. They're very cool and powerful though, the princesses. The fairies are cool, but the other players are gonna get very irritated at you quickly. Same with the cats, the kittens, and it's also hard for me to, I am playing cats. Sorry cat lovers, I know cats are wonderful and great. But this is cool. It's a good, solid expansion. I'm glad to see that they've started adding the dividers in, which means when you buy these, you'll be able to just stick everything in the big geeky box, which is great for storage and stuff. And these seem to fit seamlessly with the other ones. I think we have some strong contenders. You'll see some of these guys used very often. I've seen cool combos. Let's see, I've seen ninjas with the fairies, where ninjas are killing people. Fairies are stealing your stuff. Just a nasty, nasty combination. Like I said, robots and the princesses, where the robots play a lot of minions, and the princesses are there to power them up from with everything else. It's kind of cool. Lots of different combinations. The combination number now is pretty high. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's a lot. So don't be dissuaded by this. You're like, oh, I'm not buying some fairy pony thing. Oh, first of all, get over that. Secondly, this is a great little expansion for this. And I think this will bring, I played this with my girls and they were like, ooh, we like these factions better than zombies and Cthulhu. And so that was a way to get them in the game also. So that's the pretty Smashup expansion. Dice Tower Judgment, approved.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.